So Colin Cowherd destroys the old guard WNBA and the media surrounding it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. Join us today live at 2:45. The game's at 3 against the Chicago Sky. Opening game for the Fever. Can't wait. And also Kate and Clark's crossover every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 and 5:30 to 6:30, respectively, Eastern time. And we'll talk about the game on Monday night. So Colin Cowherd is a good announcer. I don't agree with all his takes, but I agree with a lot of them. He's knowledgeable. He's comes across a little arrogant, but he's also good at his job, and he's quite popular. And he's a smart guy, and he's been around a long time. And I got this take from him, Rob, that's I thought was very well worded and kind of destroys the old guard WNBA and their arrogance. So I'll just, without further ado, I'll just play it.
There's these people who are fans of indie bands, international soccer, and the WNBA. They have this gatekeeping mentality. We'll tell you who's great. Colin, I was watching the WNBA long before Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah, it's not my problem. Your social life was boring. I'm not going to apologize for watching it when it got really interesting. And I've said this about Steph Curry. I love Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler and pods. But if you take Steph Curry out of the Warriors, they're kind of boring. And if you take Caitlin Clark out of the WNBA and her team, it's not the same. She's packing now larger arenas. She's taking and making shots nobody's ever done in the history of the sport. She is Steph Curry. I mean, there's a reason the NBA puts Steph Curry on Christmas. And privately, the NBA with Steph Curry out of the playoffs knows Minnesota's not going to get the same number. WNBA players weirdly have been fighting growth. Stop fighting the truth. Get out of your own way. It is a bad look. She is a fascinating player, and it must be exhausting hating new cool things.
Rob, I tell you, this is one of his best takes he's ever done.
Yeah, Mark. I'm usually not a fan of his because he mocks up he wasn't with my Knicks, and sometimes he rags on my Browns. But that has to be one of his better takes. I agree with all what he said. Get out of the way, and people are hating on new things, and that's just the way it is. Like you said, with the old guard, and people are like that. They tend to like to keep things stable and conservative. But when something new comes along, especially if it's
I think my favorite line was right in the beginning. We'll tell you who's great. I got that attitude, Rob. Like with the fact that A'ja Wilson, we were told she was going to be the MVP this year when the season started. We were told that. We literally heard these things. 2 games in, she's going to be MVP. 10 games in, she's going to be unanimous MVP. I'm not exaggerating. I heard these comments. And the same thing. They'll tell us who's great.
And we were also told that, being that we didn't know what we were talking about, as fans, you don't know anything about, like you said, you don't know anything about the game. You know nothing about it. Really?
So he talked about that. They can't get out of their own way, and she's unique, and they can't see it. But that was really well worded. So I'm impressed with that. And this has to be said more often. Stop telling us we have to take quizzes to watch the game and appreciate the game. Right. We have to study the whole history of the sport, and we have to appreciate all the players in the past. Every league has great players in the past. This is not unique to the WNBA.
Right.
They think it is. They think every league was built up by a bunch of players who played in the past. It's not unique to the WNBA.
I like how you relate it to life too. I mean, things change in life. The car had stick shift. Everyone loved the stick shift. Then it went to automatic. Oh, I don't like to drive automatic. I like that stick shift. Well, the automatic is easy now. I don't have to worry about shifting and stuff in traffic. So when new things come along, kind of accept it. Don't hate it. And especially with the league, if it's helping you, why would you hate or dislike or not even promote something that's going to help you?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Rob, because they miss so many layups and they're not as athletic as the men, I find women's basketball in general boring compared to men's. But with Caitlin Clark playing, I actually find her more exciting than any male player that's playing basketball right now, believe it or not. Even Steph Curry, I find her more exciting because her passing's more exciting than Steph Curry, and she shoots almost like him. So to me, she's even more exciting than Steph Curry, LeBron, or Anthony Edwards, or anybody that you can name right now, or SGA. I just find her more exciting.
We were both saying that if it continues where the fouls are not being called on her and she's getting beaten up in the league, we were both saying that maybe she should take her game elsewhere. If she took her game elsewhere, I guarantee you that WNBA would be boring and people would not be watching it as much.
If she went and started her own league, I think the ratings in the WNBA and the revenue and attendance would go down drastically, way below what there was before Caitlin Clark got in the league. Because first of all, everybody would shift over to Caitlin Clark, at least 50% of the league would. And all you'd be left was a bunch of old guard WNBA fans who didn't like Caitlin Clark. So
I've been watching
they fall within a year or two.
I've been watching the WNBA for a while. I didn't see any one player that they had to shift arenas and the arenas were sold out because of one player, except for now with Caitlin Clark.
Rob, I've never seen where a league's TV ratings, she had the 14, highest rated games last year in the regular season. And she had 19 out of the 22 that went over 1 million. And the other two, one was a lead-in, and the other one was after her game. So it's like only one game didn't involve Caitlin Clark playing that day. So I've never seen that. Even when Michael Jordan was playing in the NBA, I doubt, I'd have to research that, but I doubt that the Bulls had the 19 of the 22 highest rated games or the top 14 in a regular season during that year. Because they had other popular teams back then, like the Lakers and the Celtics, that also got high ratings. So I doubt Michael Jordan's games were that high. Now, when he played in the playoffs and he won championships, those are the highest rated games of all time in NBA history. I just like the way he worded it. I had one take that I didn't like that I did a video on before, but in general, I think he's a smart guy. But this was just a good insight by him. And he's right. And they need to be told that. Quit telling us, who's great. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
who's watching basketball a long time, even if we haven't been watching the WNBA a long time. That's what I want to tell them.
Well, yeah, don't delegate and say, okay, we have this person and they're the great person, so you have to follow her and go with her.
And quit voting for the MVP before the season starts. Please, stop it.
Hey, excuse me, Mark. I think somebody else did that. I'm not going to say their name.
I already voted for Caitlin Clark for MVP, but that's their rules.
Yeah, so that's their rules. Yeah.
I'm just following their rules, Rob.
That's right.
Even though I don't get a vote, I already voted.
Right.
So, yeah, now she has to earn it with me. She has to earn it. We'll see what happens. All right, let us know if you like this video. Feel free to share with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do set the notification on when you do. You get notified of our next video. It's free, absolutely free. Just hit that button. And join us for the game today. It's at 3 o'clock. We're going to go on live at 2:45. We'll have some videos following that later on. And I'm excited, Rob. Can't wait. Please join us for that. And join us for Tuesday and Thursday night. Every game that's on TV, 41 out of 44 are the Fever games we're going to do. And then Caitlin Clark's crossovers Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7, 5:30, 6:30. Guest podcasters, and we talk about the game. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super things down below and a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.